My most favorite doctrine in the whole Bible is the doctrine of the finished work of the cross. When I examine the cross and what Jesus did to give us salvation, it breaks my heart every time. I have a soaking CD that Steve Swanson and I produced, and it's called Ultimate Passion. And if you don't have it, I would highly recommend downloading it off of our store on xpministries.com or XP Media, wherever you can find it. It's called Ultimate Passion. It's amazing. And in that message, it just is so impacting because it just displays the love of God and what he did to prove his love. And if you've never known his love like that, and if you've never known how to walk with Jesus without striving or without anxiety or without human attempts and efforts that leave you empty at the end, then you need to really get that message. It's called Ultimate Passion, a soaking CD. It's just a beautiful message. But today, I just want to meditate with you on the whole aspect of taking up our cross, and following him, because Jesus said if we're going to follow him, we need to deny ourselves, take up our cross, and follow him. So what does that mean? What does that mean to you? What does that mean to me in the light of knowing Jesus and being his child, being his own? And I want to look at a scripture in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18. And it says, "For the word of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." And so if we know how to embrace the cross, if we know how to live in what Jesus completed, then we will know in our experience the power of God. And the word dunamis, the Greek word for power, it means miracle working power. It means God's displays of power, but it also refers to moral excellence or to excellence of soul. And it also means the power that creates wealth. And so when you think, wow, if I could just embrace the cross or understand the cross or walk with the cross, take up my cross, then I would see the displays of the power of God, his miracles, moral excellence of soul within me, and a wealth of the kingdom that follows me all the days of my life. So what does that mean to take up my cross and follow him? And I think that if I'm going to know what it means to take up my cross, I have to know what he did to take up his. And his cross was a love test. We just tested him with everything that love could be tested by. We betrayed him, we slandered him, we denied him, we were cruel towards him, we beat him, we abandoned him. I mean, you just think of all the tests that you can be tested in love, and he passed them perfectly. That even though mankind had hurt him so deeply and had betrayed him so deeply and had been obnoxious towards him, yet he never withdrew love. And all the way to the cross, you know, we had sentenced him to death, and yet he didn't open up his mouth a word in his own defense, because he knew what his mission was to prove his love for us, that no matter what our behavior was, no matter how badly we treated him, he would not withdraw love towards us. And he would lay his life down for us and do this divine exchange where he would become our sin and give us his righteousness, where he would cut covenant, an eternal, unbreakable covenant with us who were his enemies. It's one thing to lay your life down for your friends, but at the cross, he laid his life down for his enemies. So for me, that's what taking up my cross means. How do I love like he loves? How do I become like Jesus? To become like Jesus means to become love. And when I look at the cross, that's what love tests are. That's what the love war is all about. To stand in a war with everything that would oppose love. So Jesus gave us two commandments. One was to love the Lord our God with all of our heart, with all of our mind, with all of our strength. So that is vertical love. That is the vertical part of the cross, is to deny myself in order to love him perfectly, to love what he loves and to hate what he hates, and to make my choice in life, to deny myself in order to become in line with him, what he loves, so I can give him the gift of my love. But then there's this vertical aspect of the cross, which is to love others as I love myself, to love mankind, to love my brothers and sisters. And it didn't say to those who just like you and to those who do good to you. Jesus taught us to love our enemies and to love those who persecute us, to pray for them, to do good to them, you know. And that's what the cross means to me. When I take up my cross, it means, how can I love those who don't love me? How can I love my brother and sister? How can I love my friends? How can I love my family? How can I love my enemies? And so to take up my cross and to follow him, it means to follow love. And I think that's worth everything. That's worth everything to me, to lay down my life to learn to love as he loved. For the word of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing. I mean, those who don't know this walk would think, no, just get up and fight for your rights, or do this or do that, or, you know, let your flesh rule, let whatever's going on in your own heart rule, come on. And yet it says, to us who are being saved, the cross, the message of the cross, it is the power of God. The message of the cross that denies ourselves in order to love another, to love God, to love our enemies, to love our friends, to love like he loved. That message of the cross to us is the power of God. It is what contains miracle working power. It is what transforms us and makes us holy in our soul and without moral defect. And it is the love that gives us the wealth of everything in the kingdom, of all that the heart of Jesus represents. So what does it mean to take up our cross and follow him? What it means to me, and what I pray it'll mean to you, is to deny ourselves the things that would transgress love, and to choose love for God and for others every moment of every day.